Okay. So before we start, uh, Carrie wanted me to mention that Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., they're opening for registration for all of March. So every program, all of March. If you've been having trouble like getting a spot in the programs, you might want to contact them right away on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday, so it'll be Tuesday. All right. So how are you all doing? It's so nice to see so many faces, like all of your face, all of your face, right? Yeah, so nice. So I've got this door open. If anybody gets a little chilly, I can shut it. Also, if anybody wants the windows open on either side, as long as it doesn't bother anybody else, we might as well enjoy this while we can, because it's not here for long. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, Jim. Yep, excellent. Okay. Well, let's breathe in some of this really nice, beautiful fresh air this morning. If you want to sit right up close to the front edge of your chair, have your feet underneath your knees. Check in with your body. Just notice if you're still arriving, right? Because it usually takes a little longer to actually settle in your body than just being in the room. Good. And then notice where your shoulders are relative to your hips. Are you kind of leaning forward? Are you leaning back? Are you kind of slouching a little bit? Imagine your shoulders like right above your hips, and then your head is just really relaxed. Your neck muscles are relaxed. Your head is just kind of perched on top of your shoulders. And if it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. And begin to notice your breath. Watch the way air is moving in and out. Is your breath fast or slow? Is it shallow or deep? Can you feel the warmth and coolness of your breath? Is it easier to breathe through one side of your nose than the other? And now begin to consciously deepen your breathing so that as you inhale, you fill your belly, your rib cage, and all the way up to your collarbones. And as you exhale, let the breath leave the belly, the rib cage, and the collarbones. So you might imagine your torso is like a balloon. And with every inhalation, you're blowing up that balloon from the bottom to the top. And with every exhalation, it's like you're letting the air out of the balloon. And as you're doing this little visualization of your breath, notice if that allows you to breathe a little more deeply, a little more slowly. We're often not aware of the capacity of our breath until we give it some conscious attention. Continue to breathe deeply into your belly, ribcage, and collarbones. And as you do so on the inhalations, feeling your body expand, on the exhalations, feel your body relax. And that's your whole body, your torso, your arms, your legs, your neck, shoulders, head. So with every breath in, imagine every muscle in your body is expanding gently. And with every breath out, every muscle in your body is relaxing. Every breath in, your body expands. And every breath out, your body relaxes. And the next time that you come to the top of your inhalation, I'll ask you to pause there and then see if you can take in a little bit more breath. And when you've filled yourself even more fully than you did before, then you can let your breath out. And repeat this. So as you get to the top of your inhalation, pause when you've taken your inhalation, and then see if after that pause you can take in just a little bit more. And then letting that out. So continuing to exaggerate the inhalation, kind of overfilling, if you will. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom of the exhalation. So once again, when you get to the top of your inhalation, pause. Breathe in a little bit more if you can, even if it's just a little sip. And now as you exhale, when you get to the very bottom of your exhalation, actively engage your belly muscles. Pull your navel back toward your spine and see if you can press out a little bit more breath. So it's like you're trying to really squeeze out whatever's left. And after you've done that, relax that, going back to the inhalation. Again, as you get to the top of the inhalation, pause. Sipping in a little bit more. As you breathe out, when you get to the bottom of your exhalation, pause. Actively pull your navel in toward your spine. See if you can press out a little bit more. So we'll do this 2 more times, breathing in and overfilling, breathing out and over emptying, if you will. And when you've finished those 2 breaths, again, the over full inhalation and over empty exhalation, when you've finished your second one, you can just go back to your natural breath, just letting the air move in and out. And then we'll take a breath in and let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes gently open. I'm going to continue to do a little bit more work with the breath. So take your hands together, interlace your fingers, and notice which thumb is on top. So that's going to be kind of important. So take a deep breath in and lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, press your palms away, drop your chin to your chest, and round through your back. Breathing in and out here. See if you can feel the movement in the upper part of your back or in the sort of between your shoulder blade area. Keep pressing out through the heels of your hands. And with your next inhalation, sit up nice and tall. Draw your arms up overhead if you can. If they don't go up overhead, just bring them up as high as they'll go. And as you breathe in and out, see if you can feel movement in your armpits and in this part of your rib cage underneath your arms on either side. So breathing in and breathing out. And again, wherever your hands and arms will allow you to go with your shoulders this morning, just allow yourself to do that. And with your next exhale, release your hands, bring them around behind your back. Now cross your arms, one on top of the other back there, right? So I'll do it in the front so you can see. And now notice which hand is on the top and which hand is on the bottom. Now draw your shoulder blades together, so you're kind of pressing your collarbones forward a little bit. Take some nice deep breaths in and out here and see if you can feel the movement here in the upper part of your chest. If your chin is lifted like this, see if you can drop your chin down a little and relax your neck and shoulders. So breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and then release your hands, bring them around to the front, interlace your fingers in the opposite way. Now we're going to do that whole movement and we're going to do it with the breath, right? So we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press your palms away, drop your chin to your chest, really press out all the breath. Make sure your body is empty. And then as you inhale, sit up tall, bring your arms up overhead. As you exhale, release your hands. Bring your arms around behind your back. Cross them so the other arm is on the top. Breathe in and draw the shoulder blades together. Bring the chest forward. And as you exhale, release your arms. Bring your hands back around to the front. Interlace in the normal way. Breathe in and lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, press the heels of the hands away. Drop the chin to the chest and really press out all the breath as you round through your upper back. Breathe in, bring the arms up overhead, reach up, up, up. Breathe out, release the arms, bring them around behind your back and cross them in the first way, so the first arm forward or on the top. Draw the shoulder blades together and down as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to release your arms, come back to the front one more time all the way around. So opposite side, make sure the other thumb is on the top. Breathing in, lengthen through your spine. Breathing out, press the palms away, drop the chin to the chest, round through the upper part of your back. Breathe in, come all the way up. Breathe out, release your arms, bring them around behind your back. Cross the opposite way here. Drawing breath in, draw the shoulder blades together, press the chest forward. And as you breathe out, release and relax. Let your hands rest on your lap, close your eyes. Take a few breaths in and out. And notice your shoulders and your back, your chest, under your arms, into your rib cage, your belly. Take a breath in, let it out with a sigh. And then let's roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Good. And notice if there's a little noise in there this morning. And then reverse the direction of your shoulder circles. So go the other way. Good. Okay, let's take the right elbow and we're going to draw some circles on the wall on that right side of the room. So nice big circles here. And see if you can start to twist your body a little. Get your circles so big that you're kind of twisting in your seat. Don't let your sitting bones slide, but let this movement come from your back. Breathe in, breathe out. And the next time that your elbow is down toward the floor, you're going to reverse the direction. So do kind of opposite circles. Good. Again, breathing in, breathing out, and just doing the best you can. Okay, and then let's make some figure eights. So draw a nice big figure 8 here. And you can twist your body doing this as well, right? So make sure the bottom of your 8 is nice and big, right? Top of your 8 is maybe a little bit smaller. Okay. And then we're going to erase the 8. So go the opposite way. It's like you got an eraser now, right? You're going backwards. And it's going to feel a little weird. And notice your brain is going, I don't know where the top is and where the bottom is. I think I'm going in the same direction. All right, and then let's take that arm and just do a couple of really big swings. The whole arm up and around. A couple of really big swings. All right, and then we're going to just take that hand, place it on the lap. We're going to go right to the other side. So left elbow, big circles. Big circles. Now some of us start backwards, some of us start going forwards, doesn't matter. It's like your elbow is like a little pencil on the end of your elbow and it's drawing some circles on that side of the room. And again, if you'd like, you can start to twist your body a little bit. Get some really big circles in there. Great. And when your elbow is down toward the floor, then you're going to reverse. And the reason I like to do it with the elbow down toward the floor is that your shoulder is in a safer position to switch directions. When your elbow is up, your shoulder is extended, and it's a little more vulnerable at that point. When your elbow is down, your shoulder is less vulnerable. Okay, let's go from a circle to an 8. So this is your left side, right? Notice if your left side knows how to do the 8 better than your right side did, or if your left side is clueless how to do this. I know there's a difference for me. And then at some point reverse the 8, so it's like you're erasing the 8. Good. Excellent. And then just a couple of nice big arm swings. So get the whole arm up there. All right. And back to the lap. Good. Draw the shoulders forward, up, back, and around a couple times. We're going to continue to do some work here for shoulders. So if you're working with a shoulder that's a little wonky this morning, just you might take a little break from what we're doing, or you might modify a little bit and not bring your arm up quite so high. Take your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. And then we're going to tap the shoulders and extend, right? So we're just tapping and extending. Good. Couple more. And then we're going to go up overhead. So the next time that your hands are on your shoulders, let's go up overhead. We'll do a few of these, right? And if you can, maybe tap your fingers up there, right? And if you can only get this high, that's fine too. So do the best you can, right? So we're just coming up and tapping the fingers. Good. Okay, next time your hands are on your shoulders, we're going to go out to the sides, and we're going to add the going up, right? So we're kind of putting these two things together. We're just going out to the sides and up overhead. Everybody doing okay, right? Yeah? Good. Are you breathing? No. Can you go a little bit slower? Right? That has a different feel to it, doesn't it? Go a little bit slower. So oftentimes when we do these movements and we go quickly, we're using momentum to actually get the movement going. When you go slower, you actually have to fire the muscles a little bit differently, and it can feel harder. Okay, next time your hands are on your shoulders, we're going to stay there. Okay. Whew, thank goodness, right? Whew. Let's just kind of do a little kayaking here. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. You guys are doing great. Okay. And then drop the arms all the way down. Bring your arms down by your sides. So with your palms facing forward, keep the elbows tucked into your sides, and then we're going to bend the elbow and tap the shoulder again. Got that? So we're just tapping the shoulder. So keeping the elbows kind of locked in. Good. Great. Next time you tap your shoulders, we're going to hold here and raise the elbows up. So here we are, just forward and tap. Forward and tap. So we're getting a little movement here in the elbows this morning. Great. Couple more. Next time you tap your shoulder, we're going to hold here. We're going to bring the elbows back and up in the back, right? So as you're doing this, notice if your chin goes forward. See if you can just bring the elbows back, but the chin stays sort of level here, so your head is still perched on top of your shoulders. Now I know we got the back of the chair right here, so we're going to go wide with the arms and then tap to the shoulder, right? Good, and breathe, okay? So the more you can engage those upper arms and keep them lifted behind you, so in other words, not this movement, right, but this movement. So we're keeping those elbows lifted. The more you can do that, the more you're working the triceps muscles in the back of your arm. Those are the muscles that if they're not, if they're a little bit lax, shall we say, when you wave, they keep waving. Yeah. I've heard somebody call them bat wings before. That sounds yucky. Turkey something? Oh, turkey thing, yeah. What is that thing? Waddle. Yes, thank you. Next time your arms are lifted, wow, we're going to work this one for a while. Let's just do a little bit of a fluttering movement here. So squeeze your shoulder blades together as you're doing this. Breathe in, breathe out. Your arms should be talking to you. Your shoulders should be talking to you. And then we're going to relax that all down. Whew, let your arms hang down by your sides. Feel how heavy they are, right? Notice your upper arms and your shoulders. Notice if you feel a difference in the space between your ears and your shoulder tops right now. And then we're going to take that right arm and sweep it over to the left, and then take the left arm, pull it over a little bit more. So we really got that arm over to the left. Turn and look out over your right shoulder, and then we're going to use the head to just say yes, kind of, that lifting the chin and lowering the chin. So we're stretching certain muscles in the neck and we're engaging certain muscles in the neck when we do this. Good. And then we're going to bring the head back to center. We're going to release that arm, sweep it around behind your back. When it gets back there, grab hold of your hand with the left. If you can grab hold of your wrist, that's great, or maybe even up into your forearm a little bit. Just kind of pull that arm over to the left, and as you do, you should feel some sort of a stretch or something here in this right side. It might be down closer to your elbow. It might actually be up into your neck and your ear. Relax your jaw. And then slowly drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And then we're going to turn the head like you're saying no. So turning the head nose down and then up. But keeping the ear as close to the shoulder as you can, right? So go very slowly because you don't want to make this movement quickly. You want to go nice and slow. We tend to do things really fast. I can't tell you how many people I chat with and I'll say, do you do your PT exercises? Yes, I do, but it only takes me 10 minutes and it takes me an hour at the physical therapist. Well, maybe they need to be a little slower. Okay, one more time. Good, and then let's bring the head all the way up, release that arm. Bring it around to your lap. We're going to take the left arm now. We're going to sweep it across the body, pull over to the right, turn and look out over your left shoulder. Same thing, we're going to lift and lower the chin. Breathing in, breathing out. Feels like we're saying yes. Good. And then head comes back to center. We're going to release that arm, sweep it around behind your back. Take hold of your hand, your wrist, or your forearm back there, whatever you can get hold of. Pull it over to the right, and then we're going to we'll drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. So with the ear close to the shoulder, try this little no movement with the head. So nose goes down and nose goes up. So it's a rotation, right? So your head is rotating on your spine because your spine actually comes all the way up into the back of your head. Your neck is part of your spine. So we're doing this rotation of the head and the spine is in this flexed position. So we're investigating which areas of the neck are tighter than others. So when I have my nose turned up, is it tighter that way? Or when I have my nose turned down, is it tighter that way? Or somewhere in between? And just one more time. Good. And then we'll bring the head all the way back up. Release that arm. Sweep it around. Let's have the hands rest on the lap. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. And notice your arms and shoulders. Notice your neck and jaw. Your upper back, your chest, your rib cage. And then let your eyes open. So we're going to move kind of down the body from the upper part. Most of you are familiar now with the 6 movements of the spine that we do in yoga. So we're going to do all 6 of those movements. And basically, 4 of the 6 movements involve flexion and extension. Flexion is when 2 things come closer together. Think about a hinge or something that gets folded closer together. Extension is when those 2 things get farther apart. And then the other 2 movements of the spine are rotational. So the first 2 movements, if you want to take your feet a little wider than your hips, it's sometimes easier to do this. We're going to work with flexing the whole spine, okay? And to do this in a way that's safe, you want to have your hands resting on your lap, and you want to put a little bit of pressure and a little bit of your body weight into your arms. This does a couple of things. If your back muscles are a little weak and not able to support you as well, then your hands and your arms can actually do some of that work. The other thing about this is if you allow your hands and arms to do some of the work, you're actually going to build some strength in your arms and your shoulders. And that's super important because I know everybody walks and does those kinds of things, but very few of us have a consistent practice where we work on upper body strength, right? We focus so much on the cardiovascular stuff, the walking and all of that, and we forget that being strong, keeping upper body strength is also important for independence. So we're going to work that way. So when we think about this, as I just said a moment ago, your spine actually goes up into the back of your head a little bit, right? So it doesn't just stop at the base of your skull. It actually goes up inside a little bit. And it goes all the way down to your tailbone. That's your whole spine. So we're going to try and visualize the entire spine being part of this process when we're doing this. So relax your breathing. And then gently drop your chin to your chest. So what we're doing now is we are flexing the upper part of the back, the upper part of the spine, rather. So with your chin on your chest, now imagine bringing your nose down to your navel. So now you're rounding a little bit through the upper part of your back. Have some weight in your hands. So you're supporting your body weight with your hands and your arms. And then see if you can come a little farther forward like you were bringing your forehead down to the floor. Right? So just come as far forward as is comfortable. There should be significant weight in your hands and arms right now. Breathing in and breathing out. And then press into your hands as you straighten your arms and come up as you straighten your back. Right? So that's the movement. Right? So I'm going to just turn sideways so you can see. So it's chin to chest, it's nose to navel, and forehead to floor. And then pressing up. Same thing, coming into a little bit more extension. So that's flexion. That's forward flexion of the spine. So we're going to do that one more time, and we're going to add something called extension, which is when we do a little bit of a back bend. So take your chin to your chest, your nose to your navel, forehead to the floor. You're breathing the whole time, so don't hold your breath here. Breathing in, breathing out. You're going to press into your hands. Come all the way up. Now, as you get all the way up, I'm going to ask you to slide your hands toward your hips, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and really arch your back, even way down into your hips, kind of roll your hips forward. That's extension. So we're going to come into flexion, slide the hands on the legs, nose to navel, forehead to floor. Breathing in, breathing out, press into your hands, come all the way up. We're coming into extension, right? So we're going to do that a few times, nice and slow. So flexion, coming forward, nose to navel, or chin to chest, nose to navel, forehead to floor. And then extension as we slide the hands back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Excellent, one more time. Chin to chest, nose to navel, forehead to floor. Coming all the way back up. Great. And then come back to sort of a neutral spine. So this is getting your spine moving forward and backward. Your spine has lots of different directions it can go in. But this is a great way to wake up in the morning, right? Just sitting on the edge of the bed, doing some of this flexion and extension for your spine, because chances are you've either been lying on your back or you've been lying on your side, and things get a little compressed when you're lying in a position for a while. So coming into flexion and extension for the sides of the spine, right? Because you think about your spine, it's three-dimensional. When we move to one side, well, let's do it together, and then I'll kind of talk about it. So with your hands on your thighs, again, just using this for a little bit of support, we're going to imagine taking the right ear to the right shoulder. So right now we're flexing the neck, right, which is part of the spine. And now see if you can bring your shoulder down toward your hip. Now you can put a little bit of weight into that right arm, and then imagine you could bring your head to the floor, right? So you should feel a little bit of a stretch here in the left side someplace. Breathe in, breathe out, and then press into your right hand and come all the way back up. Okay, let's do the same thing on the left side. So ear to the shoulder first, and then shoulder to hip, and then head to floor. Breathing in, breathing out, press into the left hand, come all the way up. Okay, so let's continue. So right side. And remember to use your hands for support, breathing in, breathing out, just slowly coming to one side, holding just for a moment, and then coming back up. Now, as we lean to the left side, we are flexing the left side of the spine into that left side. We're extending the right side. It gets a little confusing. So when we're going to the right, we're flexing the right side, and we're extending the left side. So we're getting 2 for 1 here, right? One more time on each side. So wherever you're at, whether you're at right side or left side, doesn't matter. And you're going just as far as is comfortable for you. That might be not too far at all. Might be different on the right side and the left side. And when you've finished your second side, whenever that is, you're just going to pause here for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Keep going. We'll catch up. So that is also another great thing to do first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. And what I like about doing this on the bed before you get up is you can swing your feet over the side of the bed. You can have your hands out here. So when you lean to one side, you've got your support here. And if it's comfortable, you can even take that other arm up overhead, because then you get a really good stretch through the side of the body. That's especially good for side sleepers. Who's a side sleeper? Oh, lots of people, yeah. Yeah, so that's really good for side sleeping, because when you sleep on your side, that gets pretty compressed, you know? That's a nice snuggly feeling, right? You're there for a while. You're not just there for a few minutes. Okay, so we've done flexion and extension, forward and backward, and then side to side. And now we're going to do some rotation. And you guys do this all the time. We've already done a little bit of rotation here as well. Again, thinking about the spine, starting up in the back of your head, going all the way down to your tailbone. We're going to turn to the right and start by turning just your head first, right? So turn your head first. When you've got your head as far over to the right as it'll go, then turn like kind of at your shoulders. And you can let your hands slide on your lap. That's usually a good way to just gauge where you are. And when you get your shoulders turned as far as they'll go, now go down a little farther into your mid-back and then down into your low back. And breathe. And then slowly unwind. And you start from the bottom, coming all the way to the top. So think about a helix, right? You all know what a helix looks like. It kind of curves down from the top to the bottom. Think about that when we're moving like this. So let's go to the left. Breathing in, breathing out, head first. Neck, shoulders, upper back, mid-back, low back. And breathing in, breathing out. Let's unwind, low back, mid-back, upper back, shoulders, head. We're going to go right over to the right. So see if you can breathe as you're twisting, keeping the spine nice and long now. So if you're leaning to one side, I'm going to ask you to come way up into that nice tall spine. And we're continuing to move from side to side, right? And everybody's kind of going at their own pace. Everybody's movement is a little different. Timing is a little different. As you're doing this, what I'm going to ask you to do the next time you turn to one side is notice how far back around you can see. Kind of take a little mental snapshot of that, and then when you get to the other side, whenever that is, I want you to do the same thing. So when you get to that other side, notice how far back around you can see. And let's do that one more time, just so you really kind of get that in your head. So starting with your first side, whatever that is, could be your left, could be your right. How far back do you see? And then your other side. Again, just noticing how far back you see. And then we're just going to kind of come back to center. So how many of you noticed a difference in your ability to turn going in one direction versus the other direction? Yeah, a good number of us will notice a difference, right? And you might have noticed, I don't know, but you might have noticed, oh yeah, I could feel that in my neck. My neck wouldn't go farther. Or, oh yeah, I could feel that in my back, my low back. My low back wouldn't go farther. So it's just something to notice. And again, when we do movements like this really slowly, we get that awareness of where we're more mobile and where we're less mobile. And that informs our movements on a regular basis, right? So you're less likely to kind of overdo it when you're aware, oh yeah, my body really, I'm easier going in this direction. It's more easeful in my body to go in this direction. So when I'm going to bend to pick something up, I'm going to make sure I do it in a way that is easeful for me. All right, so those are your 6 movements of the spine. Forward and backward, that's 2. Side to side, that's 2 more. And then rotational, that's the final 2. All right, so let's move down the body to the feet. If you want to extend your right leg, have your heel on the floor. And we're going to start with the toes. So squeezing and extending. We do this every class, right? How many of you guys do this on your own at home? Yes. It's a great way to just keep your circulation going, kind of keep that movement going. When I hear some crackles out there. Yeah, noisy toes this morning. All right. And then we'll point and flex. Ooh, that was good too. We're a noisy bunch this morning. All right, let's circle around. Excellent. Breathing, of course. I forgot to mention that. That's compulsory, by the way. Everything else is optional. All right. Heel on the floor. And then we're going to rotate the whole leg. So keep the leg muscles. These muscles right here, you guys know what these are now, right? Quadriceps. 4 of them. So we're going to keep those muscles really strong. We're going to rotate the whole leg in and out, or out and in, whichever you like. If you're not sure, if you're rotating way up, just kind of put your hand up here near the crease where your thigh meets your hip, and just notice if you're feeling some movement there. Good. Okay, next time your foot is straight up, we're going to hold there, and then take your hands and just place them alongside your chair, right alongside your hips. Now, lengthen your spine, pull your belly in a little bit. We're going to lift that leg and lower that leg, right? So keep your toes reaching toward your shin, and we're going to lift to maybe like a slow count of 3, right? If you go faster than that, you're using momentum. And like I said before, momentum doesn't require quite as much muscle power, so you're not getting as much benefit for the muscles as when you go slow. The slower you go, the harder it is, and the more you get out of it. Now, the next time that you raise your leg, I'm going to ask you to hold here and breathe and press out through your heel. Draw your toes toward your shin a little bit more. And now as you keep this leg nice and strong, these muscles nice and strong, your belly nice and strong, we're going to rotate the leg in and out. Whew. Right? Now, if this is too much, if your leg is just like not having any of this, you can put your heel back on the floor. That's absolutely fine. But let's see if we can do this 3 more times, in and out. So there's 1 and 2. Wowie. 3. And then we're going to slowly lower that leg all the way down. Right? Bend your knee. Let's give that thigh a little bit of a massage, maybe down into the lower leg a little bit, wherever you're feeling it, maybe up into the hip a little bit. All right, and let's go right into the other side. So extend your left leg, heel on the floor, toes. So this is what I'm doing up here with my toes. I forgot to give that little visual, especially for the folks at home. I was just going to say I don't hear anything, and then I just did. Took a minute or 2, right? Okay, and then we'll point and flex the foot. Oh, good. Get some mobility in the ankle. Our poor ankles don't get a whole lot of airtime to just kind of move without bearing weight, right? We expect so much from our ankles. Let's circle around. You think about it, every time you take a step, your entire body weight is on that one ankle that's taking the step. That's a lot to ask for the ankle. And then reverse direction. Okay, and then heel comes down to the floor. Nice, strong thigh muscles, those quadriceps muscles, nice and strong. Take your hands alongside your hips, kind of lengthening through your spine. Relax your jaw, but pull your belly in. And then we're going to lift and lower that heel, right? So nice and slow. So count of 3 is usually a pretty good, it's a pretty good tempo. Like 3 isn't a magic number or anything, but it's a pretty good tempo where you've got enough engagement of the muscles, but you're not going so slowly that it's creating more of an issue. So the next time you raise that heel, we're going to hold here and breathe. Now really squeeze these muscles here. Like these muscles are trying to hug the bone nice and tight. And then we're going to rotate the whole leg in and out. So it's kind of that rotating whole leg in and out. If this is tough to do, you can have your heel on the floor. Did we even do the heel on the floor? We didn't on this side, did we? We didn't. I forgot. Well, what do you know? You didn't, I know. Thanks. Great. Okay, next time your foot is straight up, we're going to lower it down. And just because we forgot, let's rotate the whole leg in and out. Yeah. This one's just for show. Okay, and then we'll relax that and give it a little massage. And again, you can go down below your knee, you can go up to your hip, anywhere that feels kind of good. All right. So, continuing to work a little bit with the legs here, we're going to have the feet underneath the knees, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. You're going to have your hands right alongside your hips, and then we're going to work the knees a bit now. So, bend your knee and bring your heel underneath your chair, and then extend your knee. So, we're bending and extending. Right? So as you bend your knee, see if you can bring your heel right to the bottom of your chair. Imagine you could like kick the bottom of your chair. And then you're kicking out in front and straightening your leg if you can. Good. Couple more. Great. Okay, and then just bend the knee and place the foot on the floor. Switch right into the other side. So we're just going to bend that knee and extend. Bending and extending, sitting up nice and tall, using your breath. Okay. And then we're going to put that foot right on the floor. So we're going to go back and forth between the two. We're going to do 5 on each side, okay? So with your right side, we're going to bend and extend. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and we're going to go right to the left side. So bend and extend 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and breathe, and we're going to go to 4 now. So on the right side, bending and extending, or extending and bending, doesn't matter. So that's 2, 3, 4, and switch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe, and go to the other side to 3. 1, 2, and 3, and switch, and 1, and breathe, 2, and 3, and switch to 2. 1, 2, and switch, 1, 2, and then we'll do 1, 1, and 1. Good. And relax your legs for a moment. Let your hands come to your thighs. Close your eyes. Take a breath in and out. Notice your feet and your legs. Notice your hips and your back. And take a breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes open, and we're going to scoot over to the right side of the chair. So as you scoot over to the right side of your chair, you want to be kind of on the edge, so you don't want to be falling off and your body is facing forward. So we're going to take this right leg. You can hold on to the chair on the left if you'd like. You can take your right leg, lift it up about 6 inches, bring it out to the right as far as it'll go, and then place the foot down. So notice if your body started to turn in that direction, see if you can keep your body in this direction. Use your belly muscles a little bit here. So we're going to lift the leg, bring it back and down, right? So we're going to just continue to do this. It's like you're stepping up and over a wall. Everybody got that? You're breathing? Okay. 6 inches, pretty comfortable for most people. If it's not, you can go lower. That's okay. So if 6 inches is comfortable, can you get it to 8? Ooh. It's harder for shorter people. Let me just say that. Shout out to my shorter people. Okay, 8 inches, fairly comfortable. How's 10? Oof. 2 is fine. 10 is great. Okay, I see some people who are having a super easy time of it. How about a nice round dozen? Go up. I love this, right? When you're laughing, you're breathing. That's great. Okay. Now, before your leg falls off, When you get out to that right side, next time we're going to hold here. Whew. Let your knee fall forward. Just kind of come onto the inside edge of your foot a little bit. Okay, and now pull your knee back like you could come onto that little toe side of your foot, right? So it's like you're trying to over-rotate that way. And then come forward and out. So we're doing this little movement forward and out, rotating on the big toe side of the foot and then on the little toe side of the foot. Keep breathing. Good. Notice which way is easier. Interesting, right? Okay. Now let's relax that. We're going to take the leg and extend it out a little bit. Not super duper straight. You got like a little teeny bit of a bend in here. Okay? So let's see. Come up on the toes of your right, like on the big toe. Whoops. Losing my mic. So come up on the big toe and then rotate the foot forward like you could like you're trying to rotate your knee forward. Does that make sense? Okay. And now rotate back onto your heel and rotate the knee out. So we're going to do it this way and this way. Now, for those of you with aftermarket parts in the hip, your rotation is going to be a little different than the original parts. So just notice that, right? If you got all your original parts, you're going to have a difference there too. So just notice how that rotation feels. And notice if you're breathing. Good. Okay, then kind of come back to a neutral position, extend the leg out. And then let's see, so I know with shoes this is going to be a little harder, but see if you can sweep your leg around and then back. So sweep. Carrie asked me to have you guys do this because they needed the floor cleaned in here today. Thought this would be a great way to get it done. One more time. Excellent. All right, bend that knee. We're going to scoot all the way over to the left side. Again, you want to come close to the edge, but not so close that you're going to fall off. And you don't want to turn on your chair. You want to stay facing forward. Right hand holds on just in case your body wants to slide off. And start with 6 inches. That's not up there. It's about down there. So 6 inches up, over, and down, right? And then back. Nice and slow. So again, the slower you go, the more you're going to work the muscles. Try not to use your upper body, right? So try not to lean your body because that's providing a little bit of a counterbalance. Makes it a little easier. If you need to do that, if you can't raise your leg without doing that, then go ahead. But see if you can be mindful that you're doing it. So if 6 inches is comfortable, raise it up a couple. Right? If 6 is like way too much, go back down. That's okay. Okay, we're going to go up quickly here. So let's go right to 10. Go from 6 to 10. I see some of you are up at about 18 already. That's great. Okay, how about a nice dozen? Up and over. Okay. And before this leg feels like it's going to fall off, next time your leg is out to the side, let's hold here. Relax your leg. Whew, come right onto the inside edge, the big toe side of your foot, right? Okay, now we're going to engage the muscles in the outer part of the leg. Pull your knee back and come onto the little toe side. And then come to the big toe side and the little toe side. So again, if you're working with original parts in both hips, do you notice a difference? If you're working with original parts in one and aftermarket in another, notice that there's a difference there. The original design is just so much more elegant, you guys. So much more elegant. But the aftermarket one is pretty darn impressive too. Okay. So now we're going to take that leg and extend it out, but not so much that your knee is locked. So you want a little bit of a bend in the knee. If you lock your knee when we're doing this kind of rotation in the leg, you might tweak it a little bit. You won't like injure yourself, but you might tweak it and it might feel a little angry at you. So we're going to come up onto the big toe side of the foot and rotate from way up here in the hip, and then we're going to come to the little toe side. So big toe side and little toe side. So it's just a little different position for the leg when we're doing this. When your knee is bent, some of the muscles in your inner thigh are more relaxed. so you have better rotation. You have a little bit more rotation. When your knee is semi-straight like it is now, those muscles are on a little bit of a stretch already, so when we rotate, you get a deeper stretch in those inner thigh muscles. We don't talk about that too much, but inner thigh muscles, if they're overly tight, can lead to pelvic floor issues. So just something to consider, that everything is connected there. So one more time, in and out, or out and in. Good, and then we'll relax that, and let's sweep, because the other side of the room needs cleaning too. So sweeping, sweeping. Great. And then we're going to just sweep that leg all the way in and bring your backside to the center of your chair. Okay. Hands on your lap, close your eyes, take a couple of breaths in and out. Notice your legs. From your toes to your ankles, your lower legs to your knees, your thighs, up into your hips, the inner part of your thighs, the backs and the front of your thighs. Take a breath in, let it out with a sigh. Letting your eyes open. We're going to do one more little bit for the hips now. So we're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left. Okay. So if knee on top of knee is not an option for you, you can cross at the ankle. So we're going to go back. Remember, we did a bunch of stuff for the upper body at the beginning of class. We're going to add that in here. So right now, squeeze your inner thighs together so that if your knees are stacked like this, when you squeeze your inner thighs together, the outside of your right foot gets closer to your left lower leg. Is that making sense? Right? So if you're crossed at the ankle, you're simply going to squeeze and your knees will come close together. So as you do this, engage the muscles in the upper part of your legs right into your bum, which is your glutes. Your glutes are engaged here as well, and you're sitting up nice and tall. And now your spine is nice and tall. Take your arms out to the sides. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to take the arms and we're going to cross them in front so that the right is on top of the left, and see if you can get your elbows lined up, right? Take your left hand to your right shoulder. Take your right hand to your left shoulder. You're still squeezing your thighs, or did you forget about those? Keep squeezing your thighs. Keep breathing, all right? So now with your arms here, if you're comfortable, relax your neck and jaw. Well, even if you're uncomfortable, relax your neck and jaw. So with your neck and jaw relaxed, now if you're comfortable, see if you can raise your elbows and lower your elbows. Keep hold of your shoulders, right? And if you don't have hold of your shoulders, if you're holding down here in your arm, that's absolutely fine, right? So the direction is toward your shoulders, right? And if you're one of those super flexible people and you've got your hands like back there on your shoulder blades, good for you. That's great. Breathing in, breathing out. So we're lifting and lowering and squeezing those inner thighs together. Good. Okay. The next time that you have your elbows lifted, I'm going to ask you to hold here and breathe. Good. And see if you can lift them a little higher and breathe. But lift them without engaging your neck muscles. So if you feel your neck getting like really crinkly, just relax your elbows down a little bit. Wonderful. With your next exhale, you're going to relax your arms all the way down. Just unwind them. Take them to your chair. We're going to lean back into the chair a little bit now. Here we go. We're going to uncross and recross the legs, right? So just like this. Got it? I'll do that again. Right? There we go. Excellent. And if you did it at the ankle, same thing. Only you look even trickier because that's a much smaller diameter there. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to squeeze the inner thighs together. And once again, the outside of the foot, so the little toe side of the foot, is going to get a little closer to that leg that's on the floor, right? So some people might even get the foot there, right? I know some people can even wrap the foot. So whatever is comfortable for you. You're going to take your arms out to the sides, nice tall spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Wonderful. We're going to cross the arms in front, this time left on top of right. Okay? Elbow on elbow. Right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder. Good. Walk your fingers back there a little bit. Now notice if your arms cross better this way or if they crossed better the other way. Now as you're holding here, you're going to lift and lower. Once again, I'm going to ask you just to notice when you're lifting and lowering. Do you lift and lower higher and lower on this side? In other words, is there more range when you're doing it this way, or was there more range when you had your arms crossed the other way? Chances are very good that there's going to be a difference. And the next time that you have your arms lifted, I'm going to ask you to hold here and breathe into the upper part of your back. Keep engaging those inner thigh muscles, right? So you're kind of squeezing the legs, keeping the breath smoothly moving in and out. Next exhale, we're going to relax the arms down, release them. Bring your hands to your chair, lean back and uncross your legs. Good. Let your hands come to your thighs. Close your eyes. If you'd like, you can sit back into your chair. If you want to stay right here, we're just going to take a couple of moments to return to the breath. So noticing your physical body starting at your toes, moving into your feet and your ankles, from your ankles to your lower legs and knees. And what does it feel like from your knees to your thighs, to your hips, to your back, your belly, your rib cage, your chest, your upper back. Don't forget that mid back. And what about your shoulders and your arms? And we just re-engaged with the upper body here at the end, those last movements we were doing. Notice your hands, your elbows, your fingers and thumbs, wrists. And notice your neck and jaw. Notice the muscles around your eyes, your face. And then turn your attention back to your breath. And notice the way the air is moving in and out of your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Is your breath fast or slow? Is it shallow or deep? Can you feel the coolness as you inhale and the warmth as you exhale? And does the air move smoothly and evenly between right and left nostrils? Can you feel your belly and your rib cage responding with every breath in and out? And notice your state of mind right now. Is your mind active with thoughts? Or is it relatively calm? Sometimes we have many thoughts that crowd each other out for attention. Sometimes we have one or two that just kind of perseverate. Taking a couple more breaths in and out. Noticing your thoughts. Feeling sensation in your body. Know that that's what it means to be in the present moment. To be aware of all of these things happening simultaneously. To know that you're breathing in and out. To watch your body responding. To witness your thoughts, whatever they are. Nothing more is required to be present than to simply be aware of those things. And take your hands up to the center of your chest. You might place your right on your chest and then cover your right with your left. Take a nice deep breath into that space underneath your hands and then let that breath out with a sigh. Ah. And then if it feels okay, you might just give yourself a moment here of gratitude. Just gratitude to your body, gratitude to your mind, gratitude for your breath. And then if you'd like, you might open your eyes and just say hello to all these wonderful people here this morning. Yeah. Mm. Enjoy the rest of this day. Yes, yes. And just a reminder again, so Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. is, you'll be able to sign up for all classes in March. So you might give a call, or I don't know, do you go online to do that too? Or I think you can do it online as well. Okay.